David Menzies for Rebel News down here in the Beaches district of Toronto. Well, let me tell you something, folks. It is so hot today. I saw a dog chasing a cat and they were both walking. I know what you're thinking. Great day for a swim, isn't it? And you know, this is an unbelievable Toronto summertime treasure. It is the Donald D. Summerville Pool here at the beach. It has several pools, including an Olympic-sized outdoor pool. You can never go back indoors once you've swam outdoors at the Donald Summerville Pool. But get a load of this, folks. The pools have been closed for the entire summer. Well, they were able to repair the smaller 25-meter pool, but the Olympic-sized 50-meter pool, that has remained closed for the entire summer season. Why? Well, apparently after the winter, staff noticed that the liners in the pools had been damaged. They were able to access a smaller liner for the 25-meter pool, but their supplier couldn't get a liner for the 50-meter pool. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem to make sense to me. For example, why do concrete pools need liners in the first place? But in any event, I reached out to the city and this is what they had to say. And this is on the behalf of the Parks, Forestry and Recreation Division. Quote, the 50-meter pool at Donald D. Summerville is concrete and lined with a custom-fitted commercial-grade pool liner. Most City of Toronto pools are in-ground. However, this pool sits above a lobby, change rooms, and commercial space, and given this requires additional protection from leaks. The vendor was unable to source the liner replacement for the 50-meter pool in time to open for the 2022 season. Significant care is taken to assess and evaluate pools prior to their opening. Unfortunately, while preparing the facility for opening, staff discovered that inclement winter weather had caused significant damage. Through in-person inspection by the vendor shortly afterwards, it was determined that the damage was more significant than initially expected, rendering the liners irreparable and requiring full replacement in order for the pools to be fitted, retain water, and operate safely. A custom-fitted commercial-grade 60mm pool liner cannot be easily or quickly sourced. Replacing and installing a custom liner on a pool of this size and age is quite complex and requires extensive work, end quote. Now, folks, when this was originally reported way back in June, the mainstream media just went with the city explanation, but like I said before, something just doesn't sound right to me. So I reached out to a pool service expert. He has more than 38 years of experience under his belt. And I asked him what he made of the city's explanation. Well, he said the city's story simply does not add up. The pool professional stated the following: the city could have ordered the liner in March and had it in hand by April 15th, as the measurements are easy to take. The question is, how many of the 4 or 5 liner manufacturers did they approach or even ask for a date of delivery? I'm guessing none, because a liner in this case would have taken no more than 1 month from order to delivery. With the right crew, it would have taken 1 day to install, and the city could fill the pool in hours, taking water from a nearby fire hydrant. By the way, liners are not designed to be left empty over winter, as they will shrink and possible damage would occur. Why aren't they covering these liner pools with a safety cover to help prevent damage? End quote. But the city is adamant, folks. They had months to install a new liner, if indeed the pool needs a liner, but they're saying it's an impossible task. Are you buying that? I mean, if you drive further west into the downtown core, you see all kinds of skyscrapers going up. You can see the progress occurring weekly, and that's stories of residents with plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, and yet installing a pool liner in a 50-meter pool, the city considers that to be akin to building the Great Pyramid in Egypt. No, I don't think so. Then again, I guess the difference is when you compare the skyscrapers going up in downtown Toronto to the pool here, we're looking at the private and the public sector. The private sector tends to get things done. As for city workers, well, it's kind of like looking at molasses going uphill in wintertime. And you know, folks, that's really sad. Thousands of swimmers this season have been denied getting to swim in the taxpayer-funded Donald D. Summerville Olympic Pool. Summer in our great Dominion is always too short a season. It's so unfortunate that the city couldn't find the motivation to get things done. In other words, go out, find a supplier that could put a liner down on that 50-meter swimming pool. But again, for the city, that is the aquatic version of a bridge too far. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, have you been to the Rebel News store lately? Well, you should. The number one hit of the summer is our Justin Castro t-shirt. That's the one that has half of Justin Trudeau's face and the other half is Fidel Castro's face. You know what the rumors suggest. Strike a fashionable pose this summer and tell Justin Trudeau what you really think about his potential DNA.